Live for local.
Good morning, this is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar departs Trinidad and Tobago today, Friday, for the Shield of America Summit in Florida, following an official invitation from U.S. President Donald Trump. Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, Nicholas Morris, confirmed that during the summit, Mrs. Persad-Bissessar is expected to engage directly with senior U.S. officials, also including U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
The Prime Minister will have an opportunity to have dialogue with the President of the United States, as well as other senior officials, including the Secretary of State, Mr. Marco Rubio, United States Trade Representative Jameson Gray, and Secretary of Energy Chris Wright.
As a significant diplomatic opening, underscoring the current strength of the relationship between Port of Spain and Washington.
The delegation of the Prime Minister, the Minister of Foreign and Caribbean Affairs, Honorable Sean Sobers, Minister Barry Padarat, and myself will be a member of the delegation. This is an opportunity for the Prime Minister to continue the relationship with and cooperation with the United States. And as we said previously, this is the strongest our relationship with the United States has been.
The minister said Trinidad and Tobago is one of only 2 CARICOM nations invited to the high-level gathering. Minister of Works and Infrastructure, Jerlene John, will act as Prime Minister during Mrs. Persad-Bissessar's absence. Port of Spain, Trinidad is set to host a new CAF regional office in 2027, positioning the capital as a central hub for regional integration and development. This was confirmed by the Ministry of Finance, which highlighted that TNT's partnership with CF Development Bank of Latin America and the Caribbean has since 2012 produced a robust lending portfolio of approximately $1.8 billion. According to the ministry, this sustained financing has advanced several national priorities, including digital transformation, climate resilience, health system support, flood mitigation, and major infrastructure investments. It said over the past year, CAF has recorded historic milestones under the chairmanship of Finance Minister Devendranath Tanku, among them unprecedented institutional expansion and enhanced transparency. Minister Tanku credited CAF's partnership's success to Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar, whose 2012 agreement with CAF made TNT a special member and paved the way for full membership in 2016. In more news, water production at the Desalination Company of Trinidad and Tobago, Desalcort, has dropped after a sudden deterioration in the quality of seawater entering the plant. The Water and Sewage Authority confirmed that Desalcort detected abnormal levels of organic material in its raw water intake since February 22nd, prompting the company to scale back operations to protect equipment and preserve drinking water quality. Despite the setback, WASA stressed there is no risk to public health and that all treated water continues to meet the highest safety standards. WASA said while production levels remained largely stable throughout late February, a shift in raw water conditions forced a further reduction in output on March 2nd. As a result, several communities across central and south Trinidad, including Caroni, Chaguanas, Cuva, San Fernando, Marabella, La Romaine, Faizabad, Siparia, and surrounding districts are expected to experience reduced supply. WASA said investigations are underway, including sampling near the Cuva River outlet to determine what triggered the water quality changes. In some sport news now, the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association says the contract of the men's senior national team head coach, Dwight York, has been terminated by mutual agreement with immediate effect. The decision comes just months after the conclusion of the recent FIFA World Cup qualification campaign in which TNT failed to advance to the 2026 FIFA Men's World Cup. Following this, TTFA Executive Committee conducted a comprehensive review of the campaign, which included discussions with York regarding his future role, along with revising their contractual terms for the next phase of the program. The TTFA said both parties were unable to reach an agreement on the proposed terms at this time. And that's what's making the news this morning. But joining us right now, it's the host of Trinidad and Tobago Today, Virmala Balkaran. Good morning, Virmala.
Good morning, Carrie. How are you on this beautiful Friday morning?
I am doing quite well. You know, it's just at the weekend, you know, so looking forward to, you know, maybe just doing something regular, maybe not in the bush this time, but you know.
Yeah, I would hope so. I had enough bush yesterday, thanks to you. Well, Carrie, as you just read in the sport news, you know, some really interesting news in the world of sport. Just 1 year after he was actually appointed as head coach of the TNT senior men's football team, that was November 1st, right? They've parted ways, and it's pretty unfortunate. But of course, we will address that on the show today. We are actually joined by former national footballer Kenwell Jones. He'll join us at I think around 6:12 or so we can look forward to unpacking some of that.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I just read that sports story there about the mutual agreement and their inability to come to some terms to have things go a little differently. So I'm really interested to hear what the outcome of that would be, and as you delve into it later on the show.
Yes, Carrie. So we'll talk soon. We'll see you on the show.
All right, looking forward to it. Thanks, Virmala.
All right, take care.
All right, when we come back, the Trinidad and Tobago Today morning show gets going after this break.
You could like a picture, you could like a post or something, and you know, so many other people can see that, right? You might comment on something and think, oh, we're just commenting, but so many other people can see that as well. So I think managing those types of behaviors are also important in a relationship, because while you may not be actively going out doing something, you might, for example, you know, like a post or comment on something that is seemingly inappropriate, and that can cause some kind of friction in your relationship with your spouse.
Yes, you also cannot be naive. If you think by hiding from your spouse, by texting someone, or hiding from your spouse by doing by using social media, is hiding it from that person, it's open to the public.
Yeah.
So there's somebody else on the end of that text.
Receiving it.
On
Well,
the receiving
even
end,
if it's an inbox and it's not public
it's in
to everyone.
It's in the public domain.
Yes.
So if you're doing something that could violate the trust, the balance of your relationship, and there's another party involved, as you said, like direct messaging or texting, then you're leaving yourself open to exposure anyway.
The Marriage Confessional, only on TTT.
Ever wondered what happens before the lights come on? Before the crowd pours in? Before the magic hits the stage? This is your all-access pass. Sneak Peek with Junior K takes you behind the scenes of the biggest cultural moments and the hottest events across TNT. From the sound checks to the stage setups, from final rehearsals to exclusive interviews. If it's about to be big, we're already there. Catch Sneak Peek airing daily on TTT and relive every moment on all our social media platforms. Sneak Peek with Junior K, where the story starts before the spotlight.
If it matters to you, it matters to us. We report the news, real stories in real time. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
In a world filled with uncertainty, there is still hope. When the weight feels heavy and the night feels long, remember, your story isn't over. God's promises are still true, His love is still strong, and your breakthrough is still coming. Join us for Messages of Hope, Words of Encouragement with Pastor Jesse, presented by Youth Fires. Hope lives here, only on TTT.
Friday, 6th March 2026. The time now, it is 6:09 a.m. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Happy Friday. I'm Virmala Balkaran, and welcome to Trinidad and Tobago today. Well, let's take a look at what's trending this morning. Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Visesa says bad behavior, particularly in schools, must not be tolerated as concerns grow over rising incidents of violence. Well, in a post to her social media pages, the Prime Minister said students who misbehave, even in the presence of teachers, should face serious consequences, including possible expulsion. As she reviewed figures shared by the Education Minister Michael Dowlett showing classroom incidents increased from 401 to 544. We speak to the minister a little later on the show on this. And she also indicated that proposed legislation could hold parents legally and financially accountable if their children are repeatedly involved in bullying or violent behavior. Well, the Prime Minister says the measure is part of the broader efforts to address school violence, gang influence, and of course to encourage greater parental responsibility. Well, also in other news, Defense Minister Wayne Sturge attended the inaugural Counter-Cartel Conference at the U.S. Southern Command Florida headquarters, hosted by the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, yesterday. Alongside representatives from 16 other countries, he signed a joint security declaration reaffirming their commitment to regional peace, sovereignty, and stability. We have more now.
And thank you for the invitation you have extended to us to attend this counter-cartel conference. We appreciate the solemnity of the occasion and we are grateful for it. For many years, Trinidad and Tobago's geopolitical position was a blessing as a gateway connecting South America to the Caribbean and beyond. But that blessing has become a burden, as in recent times we found ourselves at the mercy of powerful drug cartels and criminal networks engaged in narco-trafficking, firearms trafficking, and human trafficking. Trinidad and Tobago stands with the United States and our partners in confronting these cartels and transnational.
Well, you can see more of this clip via TTT Online, and for all the stories that you see here, you can find it TTT Online. Well, when we come back, as we spoke about this morning, we are addressing Dwight York parting ways. Well, we talked to former national footballer Kenwyn Jones. Grab your coffee and settle in. TNT Today has begun. Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Ever wondered what happens before the lights come on? Before the crowd pours in? Before the magic hits the stage? This is your all-access pass. Sneak Peek with Junior K takes you behind the scenes of the biggest cultural moments and the hottest events across TNT. From the sound checks to the stage setups, from final rehearsals to exclusive interviews. If it's about to be big, we're already there. Catch Sneak Peek airing daily on TTT and relive every moment on all our social media platforms. Sneak Peek with Junior K, where the story starts before the spotlight.
When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens, because your world can't wait. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Unleash your imagination with TTT's terrific Toon Time. Join us as we stop evil geniuses from taking over the world from Super Z. Or hop on board for a journey into outer space with Galaxy Kids. Be a part of our quest to save the forests alongside our robot pals from Bugs Bot Ignition. Or let's go exploring with Duda and Dada. Catch terrific Toon Time weekdays at 4:15 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. It's fun-filled adventure with terrific Toon Time right here on TTT.
This Ramadan, join me, Sherilyn Lewis, for Ramadan Reflections, a weekly television series exploring meaningful conversations on fasting and the significance of the holy month. Airing every Tuesday at 8:05 p.m. on TTT, beginning Tuesday 24th February, we delve into real, relatable topics that inspire spiritual growth, discipline, and understanding during Ramadan. Let's reflect, learn, and grow together this blessed month.
Well, Dwight York is no longer head coach of the Trinidad and Tobago national football team. Well, that has come to an end. The Trinidad and Tobago Football Association confirmed on Thursday that York's contract was terminated by mutual agreement following discussions about the future of the program. Well, the announcement comes after York earlier released a statement saying that he had decided to step down from the role. He described serving as head coach as an honor, and he said he carried the responsibility with immense pride. Well, he also expressed gratitude for the opportunity to represent Trinidad and Tobago at the highest level of football. And joining us this morning, as promised, to weigh in is former national footballer Kenwin Jones. Good morning, Kenwin.
Good morning to you, Virmala, and good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, Dwight York is leaving the head position with a 22% win rate. I mean, that's something. Kenwin, do you think this was coming? At least, did you see it coming? And what was your initial reaction to all of this?
I mean, in all honesty, when you look at the data, the facts are there. The hope of the citizen, the supporter, the fan, you would have hoped that this would have been the foundation into a more strategic plan for us going forward to qualification in the future. When you look at our system, I think we need to have a different approach and a more targeted approach into how we go after qualifications for World Cup. I don't know why we think that, every time we enter a World Cup qualification stage, it is automatic that we're going to qualify. Trinidad and Tobago is a country of 1.3 million people, and in our history, if you look at our World Cup qualification run, there was always a sort of 16, 17-year period into that time where we're either almost close to making it, or we made it back in 2006. I think that our mindset and approach to how we go after qualifications, the way that we want to give ourselves a better chance into qualification needs to change.
Yeah. Kenwin, where do you think it all went wrong for Dwight, in your opinion? Do you think maybe it was tactics? Do you think he was not getting the best out of the players? Or, the players not just ready yet for that World Cup stage?
With the premise of his mandate, his goal was to qualify for the World Cup. When you look at it from that point of view, he definitely fell short. The results wasn't there from the very beginning. I think if you look at the construct of the qualification campaign and the grouping, it would seem as our best chance or easiest chance to qualify for a World Cup. In saying that, when you look back at qualification in 2006, I think 95 to 97% of the team would have had this sort of late stage qualification experience. And when you look at the team in 2026, you would have had maybe two players, so that would represent possibly like 2%, 1.5% of the players that would have had this late stage qualification process. So it's not that easy as it looks on paper. But again, I think our approach and our mindset towards qualification was all wrong from the beginning. And hopefully, in the future, now that this era has come to an end, we sit down and we really strategize how are we going to go forward to another World Cup.
Yeah, Kenwin, you spoke about, the composition of the team as well and the players. So we just passed the grandparent law that would have widened the available pool of players for selection. Do you think maybe York should have been given a little bit more time or, to widen that pool and get different players? Or was it time for a new person in charge to capitalize on that?
I think it's important that we understand that the grandparent law was a plaster to cover the sore that we had. Yes, it widens the pool of players that we can reach or we can have. And any person coming in now can potentially, widen that pool depending on if they have the reach and appeal. It is not glamorous for, top level players or a lot of players to come and play for Trinidad and Tobago because again, we do not have a history of qualification. We have to understand that. So while we have brought in these players now and searching for more, we have to be able to have the stability in place, the structure in place to continue building on that. And it's important that the heads of the association look at things holistically in the next choosing of the next coach.
Well, speaking of, structure, stability and all that, you think that he has the right backroom technical team with him or had?
Any coach, just like anything, goes through a period where, he will pick the people that he can trust, the people who can exact his philosophy and methodology. And he believed he had the right one. No one can say, outside of that, whether he had the right person or not. He believed he had the right team because he's been working with most of them, I think, for some time. And they came and I think put the plans that he had in place. It wasn't successful. So he would have to, go away now and onto his next challenge and review that if it is necessary. But at the same time, any coach around the world, you tend to see them, travel anywhere they go into any job and they have, familiar faces with them. You need to have people that you can trust to put down your philosophy and people who are going to stand with you in any battle that comes up.
Well, Kenwin, although the World Cup dream ended, from your perspective, did you see any progress under the team, in the team that is under York's leadership, and how would you rate his time at the helm?
I mean, his time wasn't different based on the hope that we had. Obviously, not making it to the World Cup would have left a sore taste in the hopes of the nation. But I think that the composition of the team, the age of the team that we have right now, it's a good base. It gives us the chance to have this group together with a few additions over time, looking at the younger age groups and even where the grandparent law is concerned, pulling in one or two other players to help strengthen the team going forward. Any national team or senior team, when you have these ages, you're looking at this team to sort of be there in a 10-year sort of gap. And you want that team to continue building. You have tournaments that, within the cycles that come up every year or every other year. And you want to be able to have KPIs so you can judge the progress of the team. But that also needs stability. It also needs a change of mindset and also needs long-term strategic planning.
Kenwin, looking at the national program right now, what do you think is the biggest challenge facing TNT football?
I think the biggest challenge is our mindset, how we approach our production of players, how we target qualifications, how we target improvement. For quite a long time, we've been, hoping on specific tournaments with the shortest time of preparation at all the levels. We do not have that, like I keep repeating, that long-term strategic planning, that targeting planning, so that we can have a better percentage in engineering our production and our qualification process. So we tend to go into tournaments hoping that we qualify or making it. And then after that, it all seems to crumble. Whatever we decide to build, it never gets to the place of fruition because, again, we keep having that short-term execution and short-term vision. It needs to change. Our approach needs to change. The mindset needs to change.
Before we wrap up, Kenwin, the big question now, as we look forward to dragging ourselves up from the 97th position that we are in, who replaces him? What sort of coach should the TTFA be looking at? Should we be looking internationally, locally? You?
Well, that sort of thought process is left to the association. If they are not seeking the right advice, and again developing that strategic plan, I don't think that no matter who you hire is going to bring success. All the philosophy and mindset and has to align with everyone. The coach that you're bringing in has to either grow with the team or be part of that building process, that continuation. We need to fix all levels of administration and all levels of coaching. We need to get that stability. We need to have a plan. We need to have a philosophy that we can produce players so we don't depend on one thing or the other. We cover all bases and target our qualification approach.
All right. Thank you so much, Kenwin, for weighing in on this discussion this morning. A really hot topic, but we look forward to hearing more from you a little later on. So have a great day, Kenwin Jones, former national footballer, joining us on Trinidad and Tobago today. Well, as we always say, it is a packed show for you. And coming up next, we speak with the Minister of Education in Trinidad and Tobago and talking about everything happening in our school system when we come back on TNT Today. Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
In a world filled with uncertainty, there is still hope. When the weight feels heavy and the night feels long, remember, your story isn't over. God's promises are still true, His love is still strong, and your breakthrough is still coming. Join us for Messages of Hope, Words of Encouragement with Pastor Jesse, presented by Youth Fires. Hope lives here, only on TTT.
Greetings, hello to you there, and welcome to the CSIT National Secondary Schools Climate Quiz. I'm your host, Sachin Ramsubag, and I am pleased to be part of this great initiative.
You are dearer to me than all the stars. So many wish but never reach. 'Cause when I'm falling and all the world seems dark, you help me find my peace. Oh, shun mi ba fishani. Oh, shun mi ba. Oh, shun mi ba.
More news, more access, more ways to stay informed. TTT News covers the stories that matter on air and online. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Welcome back to Trinidad and Tobago Today, right here on TTT. Well, joining us now is Mr. Michael Dowlath, the Honorable Minister of Education, who recently launched the revised National School Code of Conduct. He has highlighted that more than 22,000 student suspensions were recorded nationally between 2022 and 2025, with a rise in violence-related incidents in schools. Well, the updated code now tackles both traditional and digital misconduct, including cyberbullying, unauthorized recordings, and the misuse of artificial intelligence. Minister, good morning and welcome back to Trinidad and Tobago Today.
Hi, good morning to you and to your viewers. I'm very happy to be here.
Well, Minister, more than 22,000 suspensions, you've said, were recorded between 2022 and 2025. What do you believe is driving this rise in student misconduct?
The rise in suspension reflects a combination of factors affecting young people today. We have to recognize that schools are a microcosm of the wider society. And therefore, we are seeing the influence of social media, exposure to violence in the society, and in some cases, challenges within the homes. But I also want to emphasize that suspension figures reflect a combination of factors like behavioral incidents, repeated misconduct, violence, vaping, bullying, and other actions that together disrupt the teaching and learning. So what concerns us as the ministry is not simply the volume, but the persistence of these serious incidents and the impact they have on the safety and order in terms of instructional time. And this code, one of the main objectives is to preserve instructional time. And so the code itself provides clearer expectations. And so it's a more structured approach to earlier intervention.
Yeah. So, Minister, the revised Code of Conduct is helping to reduce, behaviors in schools, but also it addresses cyberbullying, unauthorized recordings, and AI misuse. How serious has the problem of digital misconduct become in schools, Minister?
Digital misconduct is a growing challenge worldwide, and Trinidad and Tobago is not immune to it. We have seen incidents involving cyberbullying, cyber threats, students recording and sharing fights, and even misuse of AI tools. So this particular code, the revised code, recognizes that we live in a digital world, and all our students, their lives are affected by it. So the code itself sets clearer rules for the responsible use of technology. And there are consequences for cyberbullying, unauthorized recordings, and misuse of AI. But beyond discipline, we are promoting digital citizenship education so that our students can use technology responsibly and ethically.
Minister, I want to talk about the revised code some more and this 4-tier discipline matrix. Now, tell me about that.
The 4-tier discipline matrix starts from the minor infractions, and these are addressed at the early stages through warnings, through counseling, through interaction with parents, and parents are involved early in the stage. of counseling and interacting with our students. Now, this approach allows us to treat with infractions similarly across all schools in Trinidad and Tobago. But it also allows principals to exercise their professional judgment based on the particular circumstances of the infraction. So ultimately, the approach that we've taken from the minor to the more severe cases allows that balance, and it emphasizes correction, not just punishment. So it's a proactive approach to ensuring that we can reintegrate the students quickly into the classroom.
Minister, parents, as you just said, they say that they're, not always involved early enough in disciplinary matters. Can you tell us a little bit more about how the ministry will ensure there's stronger collaboration with families going forward?
So, as I indicated, from the minor infractions, we have early communication with our parents. And so we are also working towards developing the Parent Responsibility Act. And soon you'll hear a little more about that. We are involving parents through our PTAs. We will ensure that we have discussions with our administration, our teachers, and our PTAs, discuss the various levels of intervention. But one of the things we recognize is that working together with the parents, that shared commitment allows us to have greater success with our students.
Yeah, Minister, the ministry, and you've spoken about, restorative practices. You just addressed that, rehabilitating students rather than punishment. What would that look like, for students who break the rules and reintegrating them back into the school environment successfully?
So one of the things that we are doing is, just like how classroom teachers will have an individual learning plan for students and discuss with parents, we are developing an approach where we have individual behavioral plans for our students. And so collaboratively, the teachers, the deans, the head of departments, and the administration will work with parents, will work with student support services, because we are ensuring that we are strengthening the student support services so that there's greater support for our students through counseling. There is always an adult who is trained, who the students can go to during the school day.
Yeah. Minister, also, when can we see, all of this really making some sort of impact in the schools? When will be fully implemented across all the schools in Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, as soon as next week, the code will be sent to all our schools. You'll have both a hard copy and a soft copy. It'll be on our website. We are starting our rollout program. And we are monitoring certain indicators as we go forward. We'll be looking at the number of disciplinary incidents. We'll be looking at the number of suspensions and the level according to our 4-tier system from the minor to the severe. So we'll be looking at the violence incidents. We'll be looking at bullying across the system. The Ministry of Education in 2024 did a climate survey in all of our schools, and we found that bullying and vaping were two of the significant misdemeanors in schools. And so therefore, in 2026, we are doing another survey to monitor those behaviors through that climate survey. So that's where we get the feedback from the teachers, from the parents, from the school administration, from the students about the school environment itself and how they feel about it. So one of the things is that this code will not be static. It will continue to review as we get new data. But Ms. Balkaran, the most important thing is that we are looking proactively to use this code to provide safe and secure. But what we are trying to really promote is we are trying to safeguard instructional time. We want to make sure that the students have the maximum interaction with their teachers so that they can go on to have the kind of success that we expect.
Yeah. Mr. Dalla, this is absolutely admirable at this point in time and definitely something that we need. So congratulations to you and the ministry on this. And I know that it's definitely a work in progress and you are doing a lot, especially at a time like this when it is really needed in our school systems and society by extension. What message would you like to, on a closing note, send to students and teachers and parents now that this new code of conduct is coming into effect, Minister?
I want to say to all of the parents, to the students, to all of the teachers and administrators, that discipline is not only about rules, it's about building character. It's about developing responsibility, taking responsibility for your actions, and for developing respect for others. And so those are part of the core values of this particular National School Code of Conduct. And that's why it was revised as part of the Ministry of Education and the government's broader commitment to ensuring that every school in Trinidad and Tobago is safe, and we develop that nurturing environment to ensure that we can maximize the learning experience for our students.
Mr. Dalla, thank you so much for being here with us. I know it's your second time on the show with us, so you're definitely no stranger. And we really do enjoy the conversations that we have. And again, congratulations on this. And we really look forward to seeing the efficacy of this revised code of conduct.
Thank you so much. And I'll always be open to coming back to discuss more of our interventions at the Ministry of Education.
Anytime. Thank you so much, Honourable Minister Michael Dalla, Minister of Education in Trinidad and Tobago. The time now, it is 6:41. We always have so much going on here on Trinidad and Tobago Today. On the show today, we've got a little bit of Chow Tal coming up inside the next hour. Also, we talk a little bit more about sport a little later on, culture, everything in the mix for you on Trinidad and Tobago Today.
Our schools are more than just buildings. They are spaces where values are shaped, futures are built, and every child deserves to feel safe, respected, and supported. As education continues to evolve in a rapidly changing world, so too must the systems that guide and protect our school communities. To strengthen safety, transparency, and efficiency across the sector, the Ministry of Education has revised the National School Code of Conduct. The new National School Code of Conduct is a comprehensive guide that outlines the roles and expectations of students, parents, teachers, administrators, and other key stakeholders such as the school-oriented police officers. The revised Code of Conduct reflects changes in legislation, advancements in technology, and the realities of today's education landscape. Designed to support and empower school leaders, educators, parents, and support personnel, the Code of Conduct provides a shared framework for cultivating safe, orderly, and productive learning environments. It balances the need for structure and accountability with a rehabilitative approach to discipline, safeguarding every child's right to education and dignity while maintaining the integrity and safety of the school community. The revised Code of Conduct is underpinned by 6 core values: respect, responsibility, rights, integrity, courtesy, and productivity and performance, and 4 overarching principles: best interests of the child, human dignity, equity and non-discrimination, and proportionality. This all comes together to create a student-centered approach to discipline, which prioritizes restorative practices, social and emotional learning, positive behavioral interventions and supports, and retributive justice. The aim of the revised National School Code of Conduct is simple: to foster supportive, respectful school environments where every child is empowered to learn, grow, and succeed.
You could like a picture, you could like a post or something, and you know, so many other people can see that, right? You might comment on something and think, oh, you're just commenting, but so many other people can see that as well. So I think managing those types of behaviors are also important in a relationship, because while you may not be actively going out doing something, you might, for example, you know, like a post or comment on something that is seemingly inappropriate, and that can cause some kind of friction in your relationship with your spouse.
Yes, you also cannot be naive. If you think by hiding from your spouse, by texting someone, or hiding from your spouse by doing by using social media, is hiding it from that person, it's open to the public.
Yeah.
So there's somebody else on the end of that text.
Receiving it.
On
Well,
the receiving
even
end,
if it's an inbox and it's not public
it's in
to
the,
everyone.
it's in the public domain.
Yes.
So if you're doing something that could violate the trust, the balance of your relationship, and there's another party involved, as you said, like direct messaging or texting, then you're leaving yourself open to exposure anyway.
The Marriage Confessional, only on TTT.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most, on air and online. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Welcome back to Trinidad and Tobago Today. Remember, if you have an idea, a press release, anything you want to share with us, maybe a collab where you want to advertise, all you have to do is email us at tttoday@ttt.co.tt. And for all the stories that you see here and more, you can find them at TTT Online. Well, we're talking all things sport as well this morning on Trinidad and Tobago Today. And the Minister of Sport and Youth Affairs, Mr. Philip Watts, has launched the Youth Hardball Community Cricket Program, bringing 18 weeks of coaching to 16 communities across Trinidad and Tobago. And he says the initiative goes, well, beyond cricket. The ministry also opened applications for the Hospitality Operations and Service Training Program, that's HOST, giving young adults practical skills in food and beverage service. Well, Mr. Watts spoke to TTT's Nicole Dookie, highlighting how both programs aim to build talent, strengthen communities, and prepare the youth for success. Take a look now.
I'm pleased to be joined today by the Minister of Sport and Youth Affairs, the Honourable Philip Watts, and the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Sport and Youth Affairs, Ms. Penelope Bradshaw-Niles. Now, there's a lot of things that is taking place with this ministry, and they are going to share a little bit about what they've been up to for the past few months. First of all, I want to thank you both for agreeing to chat with us today. And I know that there's a lot to talk about, so we try our best to condense as much as possible so that the viewing population would know what you all have been up to for the past few months. So tell us, what has the ministry been up to?
I came in as the Minister of Sport and Youth Affairs in May of 2025. And since I've been here, we spent the last few months developing programs. And now we are at a comfortable stage where we have programs ready and packaged to go. So our goal as of January was to roll out a program per week, both on the youth and sports side of the ministry, because the ministry is actually sport and youth affairs. So as of January, we would have rolled out the school cricket in a couple of primary schools, about 80-something primary schools. PS will give you the correct amount. Then in February, we would have launched the host program, which is the Hospitality Operations Service Training Program. Then the week after that, we would have launched the community cricket just last week, right? And we have a whole lot of programs that we have to roll out. Currently, we have 13 programs to roll out in the next 13 weeks. So you will expect a lot from the Ministry of Sport and Youth Affairs in the upcoming weeks.
All right. So, PS, tell us a little bit about the school cricket program that you would have launched. How many schools participated? What was the response that you would have gotten from that?
So, the primary school cricket program is actually run by the Sport TT, which is the state enterprise under the purview of the Ministry of Sport. And that program would have been in primary schools, both in Trinidad and in Tobago. So the engagement for that program, we would have between 500 and 600 students will be participating. And it's all the way in North, Port of Spain, in the East, South Trinidad, in cricketing communities. And in Tobago, we have 5 or 6 schools there as well participating. And Minister and the team had the opportunity to actually visit one of the schools in Tobago for the launch of that program. So it's very exciting because it's part of the developmental program for cricket, where we start with the primary school and then it goes to the secondary school age, which is the cricketing communities for teens, which of course is to feed into the broader overall development of cricket in Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, and in terms of that program, what is the duration of the program?
So the program will run for approximately 2 terms. So we started in January and it will go until May, June, July for the rest of the school year, the academic year.
Okay. Right. But Minister, you in Tobago, what was the response like?
Well, we had a very, very good response in Tobago. And we must understand what this is all about through the sport ministry, this cricket program. We are trying to develop cricket from the grassroots level to give youths that come from what we will call humble homes the opportunity to have cricket training and be trained by professional coaches, because what Sport TT is doing and the Ministry of Sport, we are hiring professional coaches, level 1, 2, 3 coaches, to place them into these schools to train these youths. What happens after that particular primary school training? What we do, we identify all the star players, the better players, and we place them now into clubs. Right? And then they graduate now into like the secondary school, where we have a different program for the secondary school. And then we came with a next training program again called the community training program, which we launched just this week. Yeah. Right? So you are seeing a flow from the grassroots level and they move up to the secondary school level, into the club level, and then maybe onto West Indies cricket and Trinidad and Tobago like under 19 and the senior team. So we have a proper plan in place as to the flow, as to where we're taking our grassroots cricketers from the primary school level all the way up to professional level.
Right. And you mentioned the community cricketing program, right? So what are some of the areas have you been targeting with that program?
We targeting more the marginal constituencies and the more depressed communities.
Right.
With that, like Toko, Maruga, Tobago, Talparo, those enterprise, those kind of places. Even in Port of Spain here, we have some schools that participated in Port of Spain and also at the community level. Yeah.
Right. And registration is ongoing for this?
Is ongoing, yeah.
Okay. And it's for, what, 600 participants? How many participants?
Yes, 600 participants, yes.
Right. And so the games, would they be open to the members of the public when the games are being played? They would be able to come and view?
What the community cricket is about is really a training and development program. What we would do at the end of the program, we will have communities play against each other, and yes, it will be open to the public.
Right. So there's definitely a lot to look forward to in terms of cricketing under the Ministry of Sports and Youth Affairs. Now, I know you also launched another program, the HOST program, which you mentioned before, and it's more geared toward hospitality.
Yes.
And we are an island, so obviously hospitality is important to us. So tell us a little bit about this program.
So the hospitality program is also geared towards the grassroots people, those youths who are not all that academically inclined. So we developed the program to give them a fighting chance to earn $1, right? So this is really a foundation to hotel school, right? So they will build credits through going through this particular training. But again, we are placing these programs in some of our centers in these depressed areas because our focus is the depressed youths in Trinidad and Tobago.
You mentioned training, but what are some of the areas in which they'll be trained?
Let me pass that question on to PS.
Yes, so they will be trained in the ability to do service, beverage, right? Beverage delivery, anything that you would be required to do within a restaurant, they would be trained in those areas. So at the end of it, what they will actually have is like a simulation where they are in a restaurant environment, and they would, by the time they graduate, they will have 3 credits because they will be tested. There will be quizzes, and those credits they will be able to use to enroll in a longer program, right, into a diploma program or the hotel school. But in addition to that, they would be able to take their certificate to be able to get employment coming out of the program.
Right. So how can persons register to be a part of this?
So we have our website. There's a link. And once they go to that link, they can fill their information in. And I must say, between the time that we launched on Friday, within 24 hours, we had close to 100 applications already. So persons are applying, and we would encourage everyone, who's interested to apply.
One of the things we need to bear in mind also too, most of these programs are oversubscribed because this HOST program, we launched this
Friday,
and the volume of participants that registered already, I already had conversations with PS. We might just need to do a second rounds of this program again to accommodate the volume of participants. So it's oversubscribed by over nearly 300%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, hospitality, like I mentioned before, is very important to us. So what does that mean for the tourism sector? But also, you're mentioning communities like Moruga, probably Mayaro, those areas where we have local tourism as well. So what does that mean for tourism on the whole here in Trinidad and Tobago?
What that means is that we are lifting the bar when it comes to hospitality because we are having people who are properly trained and properly equipped to deal with our hospitality sectors and to work in our hotels and restaurants. So we are lifting the bar by giving them proper training.
Thank you so much, Nicole Duki, TTT. Well, that's the Youth Hardball Community Cricket Program, an amazing initiative by the Ministry of Sport and Youth Affairs. Of course, also the Hospitality Operations and Service Training HOST Program. If you want more information about all of these and what you just saw, follow us at TTT Live Online. If you have a story idea, a press release, or you want to collaborate with us, we'd love to hear from you. Contact us today at tttoday@ttt.co.uk. trinidadandtobago.co.tt and be a part of the conversation that's shaping our nation. Trinidad and Tobago Today, all the news you can trust, and of course, all the stories that matter. And if you want to advertise with us, remember that email once again, that's tttoday@ttt.co.tt. Coming up inside the next hour, we talk about the Bankers Association, a new person at the head of that association, and of course we've got some Pagwa entertainment, some Chowtal with the Biraha Raja Cultural Foundation and the Chowtal group, so they're coming to perform for you as we head to Pagwa 2026. Carrie's up next with the major network news.
Good morning, this is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar says her government is working on legislative changes that would hold parents legally accountable for their children's involvement in bullying, violence, and other misconduct at schools. According to the Prime Minister, the proposed measure is aimed at addressing growing concerns about indiscipline and violence among students, adding that parents must play a more active role in guiding their children's behavior. She stressed that parents must be more engaged in their children's behavior, especially since schools alone cannot manage escalating violence. Her comments come after Education Minister Dr. Michael Dowlath recently revealed that incidents occurring during class time with a staff member present rose from 401 to 544 rather. The Prime Minister said such behavior should not be tolerated, especially within the school environment. In other news, Tobago remains open for business despite the ongoing state of emergency. That assurance has come from Deputy Chief Secretary Faith Brebner. Speaking during Thursday's post-executive media briefing at the Tobago House of Assembly, Dr. Brebner clarified that the state of emergency will not impact activities planned on the island in the coming weeks.
All of our activities that are scheduled for the upcoming period, the Easter period, what happens at Buku, what happens at Mount Pleasant, what happens throughout the island is being planned and will be executed as already planned. Of course, we know that we do not have a curfew or any similar type of activity, and therefore we just wanted to say to the people, Tobago is wonderful, Tobago is beautiful, continue coming, continue participating.
While acknowledging that tourism remains Tobago's main source of revenue, Dr. Brebner said she is not concerned that the state of emergency will negatively affect visitor arrivals.
We really truly are open for business, and therefore, unless there are specific disruptions to our transportation mechanisms, then we are open for business. So unless for some reason there is a further disruption of the sea bridge, or whether if our airspaces are closed, those things have not happened. We knock on wood that those things will not happen, and therefore we continue to function, we continue to behave, and we continue to act as if we are going about our business normally. So I am not concerned about that.
In a release shared earlier this week, the THA indicated Tobago continues to experience comparatively low levels of serious and organized crime, with no current evidence of gang escalation or coordinated criminal activity on the island. In some sport now, Cricket West Indies says a charter flight is being arranged to bring the senior men's team home from India after airspace restrictions in the Gulf region complicated their departure following the team's exit from the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. CWI says the team is safe and that their return remains the organization's highest priority. In a media release on Thursday, CWI says it has been in constant contact with players, team management, and the ICC since the team's last match against India. On Thursday, a high-level call between the ICC and CWI confirmed that a charter flight was being arranged, with departure from India expected within 24 hours, pending final air traffic approvals. CWI says every precaution is being taken to ensure the squad's safe return to the Caribbean. The statement from CWI was likely prompted after head coach Darren Sammy vented his frustration on X about the team's holding situation in India and the lack of information to them, though he did not specify whether the lack of information was attributed to the ICC or CWI. Sammy posted a few hours later on X that the team had been updated on their departure details. And that was your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. After the break, we return to Trinidad and Tobago Today.
Hello everyone, I'm Pastor Lisa Singh from Heavenly Grace Ministries in New York, and I want to take this opportunity to invite you to join me right here every Sunday morning at 6:30 a.m. It has been a fantastic 2026 so far, and the Word of God has just been unraveling in ways that we can only imagine. So I don't want you to miss out. Remember, every Sunday morning, 6:30 a.m. right here. Looking forward to being with you.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
One day I was out playing with my friend Kevin and he was really moody, kinda sad and angry at the same time. I asked him what was the matter. Someone in his family had been doing mean things to him. He said he had to keep it a secret. So I asked Kevin, is it a good secret or a bad secret? He said he didn't know. I explained good secrets are cool things like a surprise party or a gift for a special occasion. A bad secret is when someone hurts or harms you and tells you not to tell anyone. Sometimes they might give you little things to make sure you don't tell. That's another bad secret to keep. That's mean and controlling. Kevin said it definitely fell into the bad secret category. I felt this was something an adult should help with. Because as a child, when someone hurts you, you can feel really alone and afraid. And the best people to help you are the ones you love and really, really trust. I asked him if there was any adult that he trusted. So we worked up a little plan for Kevin to talk to one of them. A while after that, I could see my friend was doing much better. Now we tell all our pals about good secrets and bad secrets so that we can all feel brave, safe, and strong. Break the silence. Child abuse is one secret you should never keep.
Well, the time now, 7:08 a.m. It is finally Friday. What are you looking forward to most this weekend? Maybe you are going to relax Just, take some time away from everything. Well deserved, I'm pretty sure. Well, this morning in studio with me, I have the honor and privilege of welcoming the new Executive Director of the Bankers Association of Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Keston Howell. We'll discuss Global Money Week, the upcoming financial education caravan visiting schools in the South region on March 11th and the 13th, and his vision for the future for the association. Good morning, Mr. Howell.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, TNT. Thank you.
Yeah. So you assumed the role of executive director in December. So that's just about 2 months ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what inspired you to take on this position?
It's an interesting question, Virmala. I mean, I would have retired in November of 2024. And I had a pretty enjoyable and restful first 7 to 8 months. And I really had all hopes of enjoying my retirement, but I didn't anticipate that I would be as bored or restless as I was. So I then started to think about how I could use my close to 40 years financial experience or experience in this sector to contribute to the industry. And as happens, sometimes the universe often responds to your thoughts. And I would have received an invitation to apply for the position of Executive Director. From my perspective, it offered an opportunity to approach the sector in a more systemic way, a broader, more systemic way. But it also allowed me to move from what I would describe as institutional leadership to industry leadership. And given the opportunity to help shape national dialogue on matters of financial inclusion, digital literacy, and as well just building the whole financial services sector. So I embraced the opportunity, and here I am.
Yeah, well, 7 to 8 months of retirement. And look how that worked out for you.
Yeah.
So what are your key priorities and goals for the association, Mr. Howell?
Well, we've recently come out of a strategic planning exercise, and we've identified really 4 major strategic pillars that would guide us over the next 3 years. The first one is that we want to promote informed discussion on matters of national interest, and that would vary depending on what happens at the time. Clearly, one of the key items which must command national attention is the need for us to economically diversify. Secondly, we want to strengthen financial inclusion, consumer protection, and trust. That's an important goal for us. We also want to champion digital transformation and the ease of doing business, primarily through the modernization of our national payments infrastructure. And finally, as a sector, I think it's important for us to demonstrate caring and protective leadership within the industry. So those are the kind of 4 pillars that would frame our strategic initiatives for the next 3 years.
Regarding financial literacy in Trinidad and Tobago, that's always a hot topic. Where do you believe the biggest gaps exist today?
Well, I think our approach to financial literacy in terms of the gaps or priorities really would be shaped by the most recent survey conducted by the central bank. That survey would have had several conclusions, but generally speaking, the survey concluded that financial literacy in TNT was good. So we're happy about that. It concluded that positive attitudes to finance is very high among females, not surprisingly, as opposed to males. But it also said the same thing in terms of university graduates as well as persons from the higher income strata, even middle income strata. But it did indicate that there was a low level of awareness of financial literacy as a topic matter or subject matter. So we need to do some work in terms of promoting financial literacy across the nation. And the central bank, through its National Financial Literacy Program, is doing that in conjunction with other stakeholders like BAT. The other thing we've realized is that coming off of the pandemic into, I suppose, tougher times in TNT, people are really struggling financially. So we need to help people develop coping skills in terms of how to treat with their finances. With lower resources, there is an opportunity to be a little more intentional in terms of how one approaches the issue of finance. So we need to do work in terms of budgeting, saving, investing, and generally financial planning for the future. As we talk about planning, a key gap from my perspective, this wasn't necessarily in the survey, is long-term planning and the need to prepare for retirement in a real way. And that needs to start early. So I think we need to have conversations with the public in terms of how we begin to think about retirement and make those preparations as early as age 18 or 19. You can't wait until you're 40s because you need time for that money to grow. And the other area that I think we need to give some attention to is the area of what I call personal risk management. And in that regard, I speak to the risk of health, getting sick. We need to prepare for that. Either through making sure you have savings to deal with critical illness or making sure you have a health insurance product or critical illness product. And the final area of risk is just or mortality. We're all going to die someday. And if you're the sole breadwinner in a home, it's important to think about those issues and to be sure that at least you have some kind of life insurance to take care of your dependents.
Mr. Hall, something I want to talk to you about is Smart Money Talks. That's the Global Money Week theme, I believe. And why is it important for BAT to engage young people in these conversations?
Oh, that's so important, Virmala. Smart Money Talks really is the theme of Global Money Week for 2026. Global Money Week is an international effort aimed at building financial literacy among young people. It started in 2012, so this year really represents 14 years of that activity. BAT has been involved in it for 7 years, and the theme this year, Smart Money Talks, really kind of aims to create a shift in terms of just talking about knowledge and building critical thinking skills among our youth. Our youth have conversations every day on social media, on apps, YouTube channels, whatever it is, interacting with their peers, social influencers, financial consultants, even charlatans, fraudsters. And I think we need to get our young people confident and use the knowledge that we've imparted over the past 7 years to begin to think critically and ask the right questions about finance. And to get comfortable about talking about money, about how you use money, how you behave around money. In summary, how do you make sound financial decisions? So even as you interact with somebody on the social media, you find it's too good to be true, you question that. It really is about developing confidence in our youth to ask the right questions and to be probing in terms of how they treat with finance so that they could be confident and successful in terms of how they treat with their finances moving forward.
Mr. Hall, BAT has also participated in Global Money Week for about 7 years, right?
That's right.
What do the activities look like this year now? And you're there. This is going to be your first.
It's going to be my first. We focus, as you mentioned earlier, on South Trinidad. So on March the 11th, we go to Point Fortin East and West Secondary Schools. On March the 13th, we head to Point Fortin. Consistent with the theme Smart Money Talks, we're really trying to create activities that would help youth develop those critical thinking skills. So we have game shows to kind of make it interactive. We have real life scenarios. We have facilitated discussions, and of course we'll have gifts associated with all those activities to create a little competition, a little fun. But we anticipate that we'll have a highly engaging, fun-filled event that will create that learning and developing of critical thinking skills that we spoke about.
I'm sure you're really looking forward to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this will be a memorable one for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So on a closing note, Mr. Howell, what is your vision for BAT in this new era of financial education, national engagement? You've spoken about so many things that you have as ideas. So what is your vision?
Well, my vision for BAT is really to become the thought leader within the financial services space. That has many implications. It has implications in terms of leading the national dialogue on financial inclusion. It has implications in terms of continuing the work that we're doing relative to building financial literacy, which we spoke about. In a highly digital world, we need to also develop what we describe as digital literacy, which is understanding how to safely use our digital tools. And in that discussion, we will speak about cybersecurity and fraud awareness. It speaks about as well getting our members to be a little more sensitive to the needs of the disabled community, and particularly for this next couple of years, the blind and visually impaired. We do think we've done as great a job as we should in that regard. It's about building or working with the stakeholders to build a national payments infrastructure which would facilitate or get us closer to the goal of being a cashless society. And it's about promoting dialogue on areas of corporate social responsibility, of which the climate change is a key issue. And we want to frame that as a financial risk issue in the context of the impacts of natural disasters on the island and what that could mean. So there's a lot that we wanted to talk about and engage the population on, so that ultimately BAT is considered to be a voice of social reason in the context of financial and national development.
Mr. Howell, we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
In this new role, I know it's only about 2 or 3 months, but I'm sure it's going to be an amazing experience. You left 7 to 8 months behind of just rest, but I guess there's no rest for you. You really want to always be on the ground working.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Well, congrats once again, the new Executive Director of the Bankers Association of Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Keston Howell. Well, when we come back, we talk about Pagwa. That's taking place this coming Sunday all across Trinidad and Tobago. That and more on TNT Today.
Introducing the new Sun Mix Nut Bar. Available in 3 delicious flavors: granola raisin nut, almond cranberry crunch, and coconut almond crisp. All packed on a rich bed of dark chocolate.
Taste the good life, snack right. Taste the good life anytime. Good life, good life. Sun Mix.
Sunshine Snacks Sun Mix Nut Bar. Taste the good life.
This Ramadan, join me, Charlene Lewis, for Ramadan Reflections, a weekly television series exploring meaningful conversations on fasting and the significance of the holy month. Airing every Tuesday at 8:05 p.m. on TTT, beginning Tuesday 24th February, we delve into real, relatable topics that inspire spiritual growth, discipline, and understanding during Ramadan. Let's reflect, learn, and grow together this blessed month.
You are dearer to me than all the stars. So many wish but never reach. 'Cause when I'm falling and all the world seems dark, you help me find my peace. Oh, shun mi ba vishani. Oh, shun mi ba.
TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Ever wondered what happens before the lights come on? Before the crowd pours in? Before the magic hits the stage? This is your all-access pass. Sneak Peek with Junior K takes you behind the scenes of the biggest cultural moments and the hottest events across TNT. From the sound checks to the stage setups, from final rehearsals to exclusive interviews. If it's about to be big, we're already there. Catch Sneak Peek airing daily on TTT and relive every moment on all our social media platforms. Sneak Peek with Junior K. where the story starts before the spotlight.
Well, the vibrant spirit of Pagwa returns to Barrackpore in a celebration of culture, unity, and national pride. There'll be performances by Trinidad and Tobago's top cultural artists, a live big band, and traditional chowtal singing. You don't want to miss that. This special event is proudly sponsored by the Honorable Michelle Benjamin, MP, and promises an afternoon of community, heritage, and joy. Well, this morning we're learning more about this beautiful event with our guests Reshma Ganga Prasad Bechan and Devika Ramdeo. And welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today.
Thank you and good morning.
And happy Holi.
Yes, happy Holi. Thank you for having us.
I love your outfit.
Thank
It's very
you.
beautiful. So first things first, Pagwa is, well, the celebrations are returning to Barrackpore as well, right? We'll talk more about that a little later on, but congratulations on doing that. I know you've been doing amazing work to pull this all together. So firstly, Pagwa is celebrated across Trinidad and Tobago. This weekend we'll see so many different activities, but what makes the celebration special in Barrackpore for this community?
So, first of all, it's returning after almost 40 years, 1989.
It's a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
There were no celebrations taking place in the Valley Line community.
Okay.
This is on the scale yards in Barrackpore.
Ah.
So it had moved to GP Road for a little time, and then during COVID, well, there were no celebrations.
Yeah.
But now it's back there.
And what's going to be extra special about this one?
We are doing it bigger and better this year compared to all the years in the past.
And compared to all the other communities.
Of course.
So what can we look forward to, for this event?
So we're going to be having a band performing. We're going to have live chowtal singing. We're going to have some special artists coming in and performing as well. We're having some dance performances, tassa drumming, so many different things taking place to entertain the crowd.
Yeah.
We're having a special designated area for the elderly and sick who may not be able to participate, to get wet, or some persons who have, like, let's say, asthma, allergies, who can't get the powder. So, yeah.
I can join that section.
You definitely can. So we're trying to consider everybody.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a safe section for me as well. Ladies, we're seeing strong community participation, and the community really comes out and gets involved in this. It's really special for, I would say, the more rural areas like Barrackpore to have events like this and everyone coming together. Tell us about that sense of community, everyone getting together to prepare for this, they're coming out, having a good time. And after so many years as well, I can only imagine how special this is for the community of Barrackpore.
Well, Barrackpore consists of mainly 90% of Hindus, and we are very fortunate that we have a variety of different cultures and religion in the area. So it is a way to bring everyone together, the celebration in the community.
So for those people who may not know, there's a story of Prahalad and Holika, and that's really central to the message of the festival. What does that story bring today, particularly for us in today's society, in your opinion?
Okay, so Prahalad was an evil king. He wanted everyone to worship him as God, but his son Prahalad, he disobeyed because he believed God to be God and not his father. And so Hiranyakashipu, the evil king, decided to kill his son, Prahalad, because he disobeyed him. And one of the ways he tried to kill him is by burning him in fire. But of course, Prahalad was saved. And, this reflects the victory of good over evil. It also helps to stand for truth, integrity, justice. Always, you may be criticized, punished, But at the end, they always take from it that good will always triumph evil.
Yeah, I love that. Also, there's a beer, there's chowtal, all of those things are part of Holi and Pagwa and also your celebrations. For those people who may not know, what exactly is the significance of the abir and what about the chowtal singing? Actually, we're going to have some chowtal singing coming up inside the show maybe in the next 10 or 15 minutes. You're welcome to stay for that. But yeah,
Thank you.
Tell us about the significance of all of this.
Okay, so chowtal is a Bhojpuri style of music. It is more a beat kind of vibrant. So Pagwa is a celebration. So it is a 12-beat step type of singing with a lot of drums and majiras, which we will be seeing later on, right? And so it is a celebration.
Yeah.
So chowtal is very popular for Pagwa because of its style of singing and music.
Yeah, and what are you looking forward to most for the celebrations this weekend?
Definitely the music.
Yeah.
And the colors.
What about
Yes,
you?
and the food.
Speaking of food, will there be food?
Yes, there will be food on sale and drinks, yeah.
What kind of
A
food?
variety of food. Indian
Palori,
delicacies.
pepperoni, doubles. We're also having free doubles and ice cream for the first 300 attendees.
Yeah, so you want to be one of the first 300.
Yes.
You have to get there early.
Yes. But in keeping in line with the religious aspect of the celebration, there will be no meat or alcohol
On the ground,
sale.
yes.
Of course. Yeah. So the organization itself, the Muruga Tableland Barapur Development Community, has been doing a tremendous job to keep, Dharma, the religion, culture alive, especially for the younger generations. Tell us a little bit about the committee and the work that you all have been doing.
So we started off with the Muruga Carnival celebrations.
Yeah.
Which was over a couple days events. Well, I must say it was really wonderful.
Good.
And in line with that, we want to do some classes and different courses, like with carnival and bands and that kind of thing going forward in preparing band leaders for next year's celebrations.
Okay.
And taking Pagwa now, we are taking that step as well, where we want to have chowtal singing and the different instruments, to have classes and teaching those to the younger generations to keep that aspect alive as well. So in every event that we do, we are trying to do things after to keep it continued.
Yeah, and I know we're going to see a lot of young people coming out to the event this weekend and having a good time, clean, safe, fun.
Yes.
And of course, this event is probably sponsored by the MP, the Honorable Michelle Benjamin, as well. So, we're going to see her there on Sunday. So just give us the details. It's called Ranga Bharse, the return of Pagwa to Barapur. It's raining colors.
Yes.
So Ranga Bharse means it's raining colors,
Yes,
right?
it translates to that.
Seriously, I've been singing that song for a very long time and I didn't realize that's what it means. Is that your favorite song?
For now.
Yeah.
In the season,
For the season,
yes.
For the season, that is, right?
Yes.
There's so many to choose from. Tell us where this event will be held exactly for those of us who are not from the area and we want to come to it.
Okay, so Ranga Bharse, the return of Pagwa to Barapur, will be held this Sunday, 8th March from 3 p.m. at the Victoria United Sports Ground, which is on number 5 scale, Rosha Douglas Road in Barapur.
Okay.
Right. Our official program begins at 3 p.m. So we will be having live bands, dance performances, singing, tassa drumming, and of course live chowtal singing. There will be food and drinks on sale. We are having games for children. So throughout the event, we will have games for them to come and participate and really have a good time.
Yeah?
Yes.
Any closing words before we go?
We hope to see everyone there.
Yes. Come out and have a good time.
That's on Sunday, March 8th, Ranga Bharse, the return of Pagwa to Barapur. Congrats, ladies, and we're really looking forward to this beautiful, colorful event, and we can't wait to see all the pictures and the videos from Sunday.
Yes, and don't forget you are welcome to come, and you can go in
the section. Yes.
Yes.
in the older people section.
No.
Yeah, I feel that as well. Yeah, the time now 7:33 a.m. on Trinidad and Tobago today. When we come back, the show continues. As we promised, we'll have some live chow-chow singing for you as well. Remember, if you want to collaborate with us, if you want to send us an email, a press release, anything may be advertised, all you have to do is email us at ttt@ttt.co.tt. And for all the stories that you see here and more, follow us online at TTT Online. All our social media channels are on the screen for you right now, our sister stations as well. We're on all social media, TTT Live Online, and of course this show at TNT Today Show. The show comes back in a short bit on TTT. Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
You could like a picture, you could like a post or something, and so many other people can see that, right? You might comment on something and think, oh, we just commented, but so many other people can see that as well. So I think managing those types of behaviors are also important in a relationship, because while you may not be actively going out doing something, you might for example, like a post or comment on something that is seemingly inappropriate, and that can cause some kind of friction in your relationship with your spouse.
Yes, you also cannot be naive. If you think by hiding from your spouse, by texting someone, or hiding from your spouse by by using social media, is hiding it from that person, it's open to the public.
Yeah.
So there's somebody else on the end of that text.
Receiving it.
Even
if it's an inbox and it's not public to everyone.
It's in the public domain.
Yes.
So if you're doing something that could violate the trust, the balance of your relationship, and there's another party involved, as you said, like direct messaging or texting, then you're leaving yourself open to exposure anyway.
The Marriage Confessional, only on TTT.
Coming up, another show-stopping performance from the Republic Bank Exodus Steel Orchestra as Antigua and Barbuda got ready for its own fiesta of color and energy. New ideas for Tobago tourism delivered at the Youth Congress. This highly rated property fits in perfectly with the vacation offerings of St. Kitts and Nevis, where the future of travel was laid out. It's Caribbean Passport TV on TTT.
Greetings, hello to you there, and welcome to the CZIT National Secondary Schools Climate Quiz. I'm your host, Sachin Ramsubag, and I am pleased to be part of this great initiative.
If it matters to you, it matters to us. We report the news, real stories in real time. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
A new season equals new dreams, and many football fans are dreaming of their team actually winning this season. But the reality is that only one team can win. So many will just be dreaming and wishing and hoping that their team can deliver. Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea. Notice I have not mentioned Arsenal. Don't be upset, I'm not mentioning Man U either. This is Atto Bolden inviting all of you to follow the 12th man as as they celebrate a new season on TTT and enjoy the ride.
Health and wellness, the core of our existence on planet Earth. Let us hear the voices of our very own citizens, our local and regional medical community, scientists and climatologists. Caribbean Medical TV is geared to developing a consciousness in our people in terms of our health and lifestyle. Knowledge is a very powerful tool, and we must empower ourselves with the information to protect against chronic and other related diseases. From the impact of climate change on our health to NCDs, Season 3 of Caribbean Medical TV tackles the challenges we all face, giving our citizens hope for a better tomorrow. Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV.
Coming up, another show-stopping performance from the Republic Bank Exodus Steel Orchestra as Antigua and Barbuda got ready for its own fiesta of color and energy. New ideas for Tobago tourism delivered at the Youth Congress. This highly rated property fits in perfectly with the vacation offerings of St. Kitts and Nevis, where the future of travel was laid out. It's Caribbean Passport TV on TTT.
Ever wondered what happens before the lights come on? Before the crowd pours in? Before the magic hits the stage? This is your all-access pass. Sneak Peek with Junior K takes you behind the scenes of the biggest cultural moments and the hottest events across TNT. From the sound checks to the stage setups, from final rehearsals to exclusive interviews. If it's about to be big, we're already there. Catch Sneak Peek airing daily on TTT and relive every moment on all our social media platforms. Sneak Peek with Junior K, where the story starts before the spotlight.
Long time ago in ancient India. Long time ago in ancient India. Radha and Krishna was celebrating Pagwa. Radha and Krishna was celebrating Pagwa.
Let us all sing and dance with Rama and Krishna.
Let us all sing and dance with Rama and Krishna. Pandit Hakna Jaan, Kaila Abhira se marela. Pandit Hakna Jaan, Kaila Abhira se marela.
Well, for all the stories that you see here and more, follow us at TTT Live Online and TNT Today Show. If you have a story idea, a press release, or you simply want to collaborate with us or maybe advertise with us, all you have to do is email us at tttoday@ttt.co.tt. Once again, that's tttoday@ttt.co.tt. You can also collaborate with us on the airwaves through Talk City 91.1 FM, Sweet 100.1 FM, and Next 99.1 89.1 FM. Be part of the conversation that's shaping our nation on Trinidad and Tobago today. That's all our social media for you. Remember, all the stories, you can find it at TTT Live Online and TNT Today Show. Well, Pagwa is still the hot topic. It is coming up this weekend, all the celebrations. We had so many conversations about Pagwa. It's less than 2 days away. Before we have a live performance for you this morning, Chowtal music by the Biraha Raja Chowtal group. We have our guests getting set up in studio this morning, and they're going to give you a wonderful performance. I'll be joined shortly by the leader.
Long time ago in ancient India. Long time ago in ancient India. Radha and Krishna was celebrating Pagwa. Radha and Krishna was celebrating Pagwa.
Let us all sing and dance with Rama and Krishna.
Let us all sing and dance with Rama and Krishna. Pandit Hagna Jan, Pandit Hagna Jan. Kaila Abhira se marela. Pandit Hagna Jan, Pandit Hagna Jan. Kaila Abhira se
Chowtal music, culture, dharma, it will never die in Trinidad and Tobago. Chowtal is a vibrant 12-beat folk music tradition from North India and the Caribbean, celebrated during Holi and Pagwa, featuring high-pitched singing with dholak drums and jal or the kartal. Now, the group performs under the Biraha Raja Cultural Foundation, a registered MPO, bringing rich heritage and festival spirit straight to our stage. This morning I have joining me Mr. Naresh Timal. Welcome, Biraha Raja himself.
Yeah.
How are you this morning? Happy Holi.
Happy Holi to you and to all the viewers here on TTT. And I am pretty good. I'm pretty good this morning in the bustle of the Holi season.
Yeah, I know this is your season, one of your many
yes,
seasons.
one of the many.
So your group is getting set up and they'll be performing for us. But before that, I just want to ask, how you got involved into all of this? At a very young age, you've been doing it for a long time,
yes,
right?
of course. Yes, at a very young age, I'm coming from a family of musical background, and we've always been involved from a young age, being involved in a lot of cultural events, and just having a likeness for it.
Yeah.
And I decided to pursue it as a full-time passion.
Yeah, and now you have a group.
Yeah.
You go all over the Caribbean,
Yes.
all over the world performing as well. Tell us how that's been for you, taking Dharma to different stages.
I always say our culture takes us places we would not have even imagined.
Yeah.
And that has really been true to us, where we have visited many, many places we wouldn't even thought we would have reached because of music and culture. And when you go and you see people enjoying themselves and being able to be free with the musical expressions, it is such a wonderful feeling, Vishala.
So I know this is Chowtal music for this season, but you're also the Biraha Raja.
Yes, yes.
How did you get the name Biraha Raja?
So one of the genre of music that I perform is Biraha, which is a form like local extempo in our East Indian tradition. And I, being the only one of the young propagators of that,
you definitely
got the name Biraha Raja because the outfit that I wear is like a cape and a sword like a king.
Yeah.
So it's like a king performing the Biraha.
And
so
the
it's
dance.
Biraha Raja and the dance.
Tell
of
them
course,
about
we
the
can't forget the dance. So the dance is a very traditional dance where we perform and we tie the waist and it's the movement of the feet. The drum is to the Nagara beat. And you just move freely and express yourself through the music and the dance.
So Chowtal music now, how long has this group been in existence?
So this year is our 10th year performing Chowtal. And it all started where everyone said, let's form a Chowtal group. And what you see here today is friends coming together and supporting each other just to carry on our culture.
Yeah. All right. Well, we actually have the group here set up for us this morning. Tell us about the performance that we're going to hear.
Right. So we have some members of the group here today. Our group is actually like 30-something plus members.
Wow.
And today we will be performing Chowtal. So we'll do a Sumiran to start an invocation. And then we'll do a Chowtal, which is a Chowtal and a Ulara, Kabir and a Ulara. And then we do some popular Ularas as the time see fits to entertain these wonderful people here of Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, Birha Raja and group, they get to close the show for us today. Thank you. A wonderful week on Trinidad and Tobago today. Thanks to everyone pulling the show together every single day. Happy Holy Trinidad and Tobago. We get ready to celebrate this weekend. What a beautiful society we live in. Chow Tal music live and direct from the studios of Trinidad and Tobago today. Have a wonderful weekend. And once again, happy Holy.
बोलिए गजानन स्वामी की जय। सुमिरे माता जी रे दया से,
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 हे जी रे दया से माता जी रे दया से,
हे जी रे दया से माता जी रे दया से,
हे जी रे दया से माता जी रे दया से, सुमिरे माता जी रे दया से, सुमिरो माता जी रे दया से, अरे पहला में सुमिरो धरती माता के, पहला में सुमिरो धरती माता के, हे जन्म मोरे जन्म जिए हो दया से, सुमिरो माता जी रे दया से, हे दूसरा में सुमिरो काली भवानी, अरे दूसरा में सुमिरो काली भवानी, हे जिन मोरे दूध दिए हो दया से, सुमिरो माता जी रे दया से, सुमिरो माता जी रे दया से, अरे बसवा में सुमिरो गुरु चरणन के, बसवा में सुमिरो गुरु चरणन के, हे जन मोरे दर्शन दिए हो दया से, सुमिरो माता जी रे दया से, सुमिरो माता जी रे दया से, अरे सुमिरो माता जी रे दया से, सुमिरो माता जी रे दया से। बोलिए बोलो श्री कृष्ण चंद्र की जय। गोकुला बेच जन्म कन्हाई सुरन सुकराए,
गोकुला बीच जन्म कन्हाई सुरन सुखदाई,
हे गोकुला बेच जन्म कन्हाई सुरन सुकराए, जन्म कनाई सुरन सुखदाई, गोकुला बीच जन्म कनाई सुरन सुखदाई, गोकुला बीच जन्म कनाई सुरन सुखदाई, गोकुला बीच जन्म कनाई सुरन सुखदाई, अरे ये दिन जन्म भयो कान्हा को देख सुमन नजर लाए ओ जही दिन जन्म भयो कान्हा को देख सुमन नजर लाए न जन्म भयो कान्हा को देख सुमन नजर लाए ओ जय न जन्म भयो कान्हा को देख सुमन नजर लाए सुर ब्रह्मा सब है चले आई हो 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 जाके चरण कमल जपतानी महाबर जाके चरण कमल सिरनाई सुरन जाके चरण कमल सिरनाई सुरन सुकराई अरे जय जय जसोदरा नंदन की श्री कृष्णा कमल लागे चंदन की बोलो जय जय जसोदरा नंदन की श्री कृष्णा कमल लागे चंदन की अरे किलत जीत श्री गए जमुना रे 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 ओ बस गए राधा कृष्ण की ओ जय 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 जसोदा नंदन की श्री कृष्णा कमल लगे चंदन की अरे राधा चले सखियन राधे संग राधा चले सग सखियन रे संग राधा चले सखियन राधे संग राधा चले सखियन राधे संग अरे ग्वाले न देखत सब दारी बोलो जय जय जसोदा नंदन की श्री कृष्णा कमल लगे चंदन
Ever wondered what happens before the lights come on? Before the crowd pours in? Before the magic hits the stage? This is your all-access pass. Sneak Peek with Junior K takes you behind the scenes of the biggest cultural moments and the hottest events across TNT. From the sound checks to the stage setups, from final rehearsals to exclusive interviews. If it's about to be big, we're already there. Catch Sneak Peek airing daily on TTT and relive every moment on all our social media platforms. Sneak Peek with Junior K, where the story starts before the spotlight.
I'm Renee Sion with another edition of Caribbean Week in Review.
In a world filled with uncertainty, there is still hope. When the weight feels heavy and the night feels long, remember, your story isn't over. God's promises are still true, His love is still strong, and your breakthrough is still coming. Join us for Messages of Hope, Words of Encouragement with Pastor Jesse, presented by Youth Fires. Hope lives here, only on TTT.
If it matters to you, it matters to us. We report the news, real stories in real time. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Good morning, this is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. Ongoing tensions in the Middle East could have some impact on this country's energy sector, according to the Minister of Energy and Energy Affairs. However, he assured that there will be no direct disruption to the sector locally. The minister made the statements while responding to questions at the post-cabinet media conference.
That given the role of Atlantic LNG, our partners have informed Shell, BP, and of course NGC. They have informed that there will be some impact in terms of revenue that would reflect an increase in revenue over the conflict period.
Minister Murinal explained that given this country's position in the global energy market, any potential benefits are expected to be limited and not particularly significant for Trinidad and Tobago.
People believe that some of these conflicts give us exorbitant amount of revenue and so on. We do have supply constraints, and to be realistic, we have limited upstream output, given what has happened over the years. In the last 10 years or so, we have not had this sort of investment in upstream production, so that today we can't really benefit from this in any sense because we have not had that impact in terms of production upstream.
In other news, a Tobago Public Health Observatory will soon be established within the Division of Health and Wellness to improve how health data is collected and analyzed on the island. The announcement was made on Thursday by Deputy Chief Secretary with Responsibility for Health, Faith Brebner, during a Tobago House of Assembly post-executive media briefing. Dr. Brebner explained that Tobago is currently facing challenges in strategically collecting and analyzing health data, which limits the ability to effectively report on the overall health status of residents.
We are not strategically collecting the data in a way that is analyzed and can allow me to report to you in any meaningful way, which really is the reason why we are going to have the Tobago Public Health Observatory. What you recognize is we have medical data in medical records, but that data is not necessarily translated into a database that would then allow us to see at the drop of a hat how many diabetics we have, how many people with heart disease, how many cancer patients, and so forth. And it is that kind of analysis, that kind of data collection in a way that is easy.
With more than 22,000 suspensions recorded by the Ministry of Education between 2022 and 2025, the line minister says the persistence of these incidents remain a matter of great concern. Appearing on the Trinidad and Tobago Today morning show, he noted that the revised National Code of Conduct aims to address digital misconduct by emphasizing correction over simple punishment.
So this particular code, the revised code, recognizes that we live in a digital world and all our students' their lives are affected by it. So the code itself sets clearer rules for the responsible use of technology. And there are consequences for cyberbullying, unauthorized recordings, and misuse of AI. But beyond discipline, we are promoting digital citizenship education so that our students can use technology responsibly and ethically.
The ministry is also developing the Parental Responsibility Act, which will mandate parent involvement in finding solutions for their children through collaboration with schools and the ministry. In some sport news now, the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association says the contract of the men's senior national team head coach, Dwight York, has been terminated by mutual agreement with immediate effect. The decision comes just months after the conclusion of the recent FIFA World Cup qualification campaign, in which TNT failed to advance to the 2026 FIFA Men's World Cup. Following this, the TTFA Executive Committee conducted a comprehensive review of the campaign, which included discussions with York regarding his future role, along with revising their contractual terms for the next phase of the program. The TTFA said both parties were unable to reach an agreement on the proposed terms at this time. And that was your TDT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. From all of us here, have a great day.
This is TTT. Live for local.